Rap Circle is finally here. I know everybody been waiting for it, right?
Like, common sense isn't even common anymore.
No, it's very, very.
It's really
rare.
not. I mean, and even very rational people that I generally talk with, just try to rationalize the way. Like, for example, in Kenobi, why? Well, this makes sense because blah blah blah. It's like, but if you go back in, say, canon, or or whatever, it just absolutely makes no sense, or it shouldn't even be there. And I had this discussion on another podcast with a couple of other guys this past Saturday, and at the end of it, at the last episode, one of them pretty much agreed with every point that I made. That except for maybe the action scene between Vader and Kenobi, but even then it was like shaky cam. Like, are you kidding me? But everything else, we get like a nice steady camera shot of like almost everything, and it's like, it was just garbage. And yeah, Mike, you totally called it with Reva betraying Vader and basically trying to redeem herself, and Luke basically getting a little bit of the spotlight, and it's like, because you can see from the beginning how these things write themselves almost.
Yep.
Like,
pretty much.
You literally see it. It's a formulaic, I don't want to say brainwashing, but I mean, I don't know what else to call it. It's like we're supposed to put up with mediocre writing because everybody thinks that, I'm sorry, pat on the head, you're too stupid to figure this complicated plot point out.
I got to be honest, they tell us that. They've told us that, right? So I'll finish my thought, then I'll say hey, it'll chat. They told us that they purposely are changing Namor's backstory because we're too dumb to not realize that he would be confused with Aquaman. So we see Namor's going to be Mexican because the comment implies the audience will be confused. It's like, screw you. That you think that, by the way.
When I reported that video a few weeks ago, Mexican Iron Man actually saw it, and my God.
Mike, poor Mike. I'm like texting Mike photos, like, aren't you ready for this?
I can see his rage going.
OMG. And Polly is like, I'm so token. I'm like, I feel violent. Like, yeah.
He's
let's say hey to Dave.
We got to get together for doing a video on this.
My gosh, it's absolutely Dave Bob, my brother. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and it's just awesome to have Dave Bob. I have to give Dave Bob on the show. Dave, you got to come up in here, man. People want to like things so much they will create justifications for just about anything. Your Polium Lifeform says, "Yeah,
that's true."
I also think the shutting your brain off thing has now gotten to a different kind of level, because it used to be more like I can be a zombie, sit in front of the television, but you would still have sort of a general assessment of what's good or bad. But now it's almost like you're just looking past moronic contradictions. So Return of the Jedi. Vader telling Luke, Obi-Wan once thought, as you do, was to justify the Kenobi series, or perhaps the line in the original where he says to Obi-Wan, you should not have come back. They've created so many contradictions. I don't even know where to begin.
It's mind-boggling with how much even they're even in the Kenobi show, how much they totally wrecked even their own shows that they created, like in Rebels. Yeah. I'll admit, I will say this. I like the Clone Wars and I like Rebels. I think there are some, good highlights in those shows, but I can take things, but I know they're
fine for what they are, right?
They're fine for what they are, and they have plenty of flaws, and I'm sure there are other people who are far more knowledgeable than me that would say that they're even more flawed. But at the same time, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of those shows. I just thoroughly enjoy them. And seeing what they did in this, was it the first or second episode with the Grand Inquisitor? I was like, I'm done. This is dumb.
But he has a second stomach, Mags. It's fine. I know.
They're going to write a book. They're going to write a book about it to explain their show, to fill in the gaps and the plot holes like they usually do with the sequels. And it just drives me nuts. I'm like, if you can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go on a rant.
It's fine. Well,
I know you want to rant, don't you?
I know. Let's first say a little moment of pause and a little applause. Thank you, Nerd Polio Lifeform, for that sub headed Mike's way. Appreciate that very much. And by the way, folks, check all the subs for everyone. I literally was in a conversation with Zach's trying to work out scheduling to see if either one of us could be on either one show. And we're both realizing that neither one of us are now subbed again. Like they had unsubbed us from each other. And I'm like, ooh. We are literally in real time having conversations. And I'm like, okay, and I don't know about you guys. And I don't know, maybe you guys can speak to this too. I've had all this, my graph for subs. It's like, I'll go up a few and then down like 10. And then it's like, it's been, I know Loki's spoken about it this last week or so. It's just really strange stuff going on with that.
You too?
Oh, it's out of control. It's worse than normal. Like I normally have a 2 or 3 here and there kind of flux, and over a week or so you get a little bit, but I've had like this crazy, June's been nuts. So
I think it's something, perhaps, hold on. I think what's happening is that something that I found out from the Good Voice guy, Corey. He said that if you subscribe and you don't watch a video immediately within 24 hours of subscribing, you're getting unsubscribed. It's weird.
Oh, this is nuts.
Yeah, so just FYI. I'm sorry.
Come an idiot.
No, thank you. I mean,
thanks for hanging. Come an idiot. And by the way, I had reached out to someone to help me make the shirt with the RIP Wade. So I guess we're all in a race. I want a shirt, and I can't get this graphic designer to help me whip it in the driveway. I need a graphic design help, so I'm gonna have to reach out to you, Mike. We'll just have to have a deal. Just figure this out. I want a shirt that just says RIP.